Hey, welcome to another episode of That Stupid Podcast. We're calling this episode, My Emotions! Community got canceled. Revolution got canceled. Halo 5. That and a whole lot more coming up on this episode, so stick around. Podcast. Rev here.
RJ here.
And we're going to kick this week off a little different.
We're going to do something different?
Yeah, we're going to do a new segment. Oh, wait, no, we're not.
Nah, we don't ever do anything new to begin the show. We
really don't.
We do the same segment we do every week, and it's a segment that everybody out there seems to actually enjoy.
I know I enjoy it.
I love it. Drop a little knowledge, and we're going to...
Snopes it for you.
There we go.
So I'm going to kick things off this week with a little Hotel California. You know, a little trivia about that song.
Mm-hmm.
I use this one song, anytime.
Is this your poop song?
No, well, actually I use Kesha for pooping.
Oh.
This is the song I use to tune any audio system I do an install for.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that, because it's got the... do you use the acoustic version?
I use the acoustic version from the Hell Freezes Over tour. Mm-hmm. I have the CD, and I have to grab it out occasionally.
Well, it's in perfect 7.1, and you can absolutely tell because they're sitting completely away from each other. They're different mics, so it's perfect for directional audio.
In surround sound. Mm-hmm. It just sounds absolutely amazing, and it's the reason. In fact, this song was the reason I bought the Pioneer in-wall Elite speakers that I bought.
Downstairs in where we record at Steven's house.
Yeah.
And downstairs, he has a billion speakers built into his living room, and it sounds amazing.
I got a few. So
like 12? Is it like no? It's like 7.
It's technically it's 9 because it's
the subwoofer.
It's 7.2 because I got 2 subs.
So yeah, that's right. So
there's a sub on the
that's
left.
still a lot, and they're in the wall. They look nice. They're all flush. It's very pretty.
It's a nice. I like it.
So what's up with Hotel California?
There's another little piece of trivia. Apparently, this song is all about devil worship and Satanism.
Satan.
Yeah, no. About every 2 or 3 years, I see this pop up again and again. And apparently, Hotel California is trying to get you to worship the devil.
Hail Satan!
Because, you know, you can never leave and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. So it's like basically the whole Aleister Crowley fucking situation.
Here's the real dope, if you will. It's actually much less fun and interesting. It's
What's the song about?
It's about greed in Southern California.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I guess it's like about rich people and the rich stay rich and you can't ever leave because you're just stuck there. Oh, it's so horrible to be super rich with all this money that I roll around in.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, because you got to remember, this song, this is an old song. It's like 1976, I think,
40,
right?
50 years old?
Yeah.
40, I think it's 40.
It'll be 40 in a couple of years. So,
Yeesh.
You know, when this song was written, the Eagles were still struggling musicians, technically. I mean,
so they were poor, and they weren't
super struggling, mind you, but they were.
So they were poor-ish, and I assume that they were getting looked down upon by everybody else who was in Hollywood, and
and trust me, as a guy who's been in the music industry a little bit, it is not an easy thing to deal with.
No.
So,
radio DJs, if people don't know this, they get paid jack all.
Oh yeah. Well, I've actually got 2 sides of the music industry. So I was a DJ in the late '90s, but I've also been in a few bands. I was in a heavy metal band that toured Germany, actually.
I want to go tour Germany. Sounds fun.
It was all right.
Next week, That Stupid Podcast from Berlin.
Well, you know, we were no, you know, David Hasselhoff with our lit up jackets.
That's
you
right.
Know,
he had the lights on the back. And
dude, that was badass.
It was. I hate to admit it, but the Hoff had an electric awesome
jacket.
jacket.
Hoff was the man. He was.
Don't hassle the Hoff. So really,
it's not about Satanism. Stop it. Just that's the rule. Just seriously, people.
that sounds.
There's literally 0 grain of truth to this.
Well, I know a lot of people originally also thought it was about heroin addiction and stuff too. Yeah. There's multiple rumors going around.
Now, if you like a song about drugs, I would say pick Red Hot Chili Peppers Under the Bridge,
which is about him coming off his heroin addiction. Yeah.
Under the Bridge is where I drew some blood.
Yeah, and that's where he would buy all his smack, and he would actually legit shoot up and just hang out under the bridge because nobody's gonna find you.
That song is, I mean, that's kind of Anthony Kiedis' fucking anthem.
Yeah, really, it is.
It's also a very good song.
So McDonald's gets a lot of bad press. Let's face it, they get a lot of bad press. I mean,
you know, the McRib is a good example of why they should get bad press, I think.
The McRib is disgusting. And
you know what's funny? They do it right, and that's why they do it right, right? Limited time food. You get psyched up for it, and then you eat it and instantly regret it.
And I'm done. I take that.
Instantly regret.
I get halfway through that sandwich, and it's that ultimate just. Yep. Why do I do this to myself? It's the candy corn of fast food.
It really
is. And it fools me every year. I'm like, oh, the ribs back. Oh, I'm going to go.
Candy corn for Halloween. I hate this crap. Yeah.
It's bad.
I don't fall for candy corn anymore.
Every year, man.
No,
every year.
You know, actually, they haven't made any candy corn for like 100 years.
No, it's just the supply we've had since 1950.
Yeah, they just keep
the
repackaging
same candy corn. So,
don't
the
look
thing
that
about
up.
it...
It's not true.
The thing about it is that McDonald's got a lot of crap, and
yes.
I consistently see this. Over the last years, people are saying that when McDonald's was advertising that they had 100% beef, and that's what they used.
Right, well, they did that new Angus burger menu.
Yep. And then
mushroom
people,
and Swiss, and
they were actually pretty good. They're no Hardee's, mind you, because if I'm going to be fat, I'm going to go to Hardee's for my burger. But people were complaining and saying, hey, 100% beef. Well, McDonald's, it's not 100% beef. They're getting from a company called 100% beef.
Right.
Well, that's impossible. The reason it's impossible is the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission,
does not allow you to name your damn company 100% beef.
That's also, nor do they allow basically any unfair... I don't really know how to put this. You can't just lie to people about your food that you're selling them. So if you were going to say, hey, this is 100% beef, it has to be 100% beef.
So here's a really good example. Right now, and this is something else that's going on, pomegranate juice.
Yeah, everybody's getting...
Right. Well, the company Palm, POM, I think is the name of the company, right?
Yes.
Kind of getting sued a little bit.
They're getting a lot sued
because
right now.
they were like, pomegranate, it cures cancer.
It
pomegranate,
does everything.
You give yourself an enema and you'll... I made that last part up. But I mean, the point is they have a lot of these claims and...
None of it's true.
None of it's true. And in the sense that it's not founded, you can't... and there was what was it, about 5 or 10 years ago, there was a commercial that had taken off the air from, I think it was Kellogg.
Yeah.
Frosted Mini Wheats.
The Frosted Mini Wheats.
It was like, Frosted Mini Wheats.
You'll become an Olympic athlete.
Well, no, it was Frosted Mini Wheats. Studies have proven that a day starting with Frosted Mini Wheats
makes you smarter, makes you faster.
Makes you faster, makes you what it.
You'll run like a Kenyan.
Well, it was 20%, right? Was the number, and yeah, they rounded up from 11%.
Yeah, which
to start with.
I don't understand how that's rounding.
And then also the other side of that was if you read into it, and this is why they had to kill the commercial because the FTC pulled their well, let me see your studies.
Yep.
It was compared to people who ate absolutely nothing at all in the morning. So it was like...
So of course you're going to be better than people who are eating nothing for breakfast.
You could have Taco Bell and probably do better.
Well, on top of that, McDonald's burgers actually come from legit companies.
Sure they do.
Now, I will say that the meat that's in the McRib, this is another thing people have been talking about lately, that it's the pink slime or whatever that's going through all the ammonia processes.
Pink slime is what the chicken nuggets are.
That's also not true either.
So
McDonald's posted a video. They were required after this point because the FTC was like, look, you need to show people what's in these chicken McNuggets.
Right.
And they showed them, and it's normal, yes. I'm not saying that it's not a bunch of pig and chicken parts. No, because it totally is.
It's processed just like the frozen section, Tyson chicken breast.
Tyson chicken, it's the same thing. But is it crazy pink slime with ammonia? No, they were required to completely stop doing that years ago.
What is the pink slime anyway?
We're gonna find. Hopefully, we're gonna find that out. That's what I would like to Snopes maybe next week.
Yeah,
maybe we should look into
find out
that.
what the hell that stuff is.
But on top of this, I brought the McDonald's thing up to talk about this thing. The shoes, and I don't remember the name of them. They're the feet shoes. They look like a foot.
yeah. So if you bought those, you're getting a refund.
You were getting a refund because
who bought that crap?
I wouldn't buy. And everybody's convinced. Anybody I knew who was on the paleo diet,
they're amazing.
They're super help you run. They're great. Blah blah. No. As it turns out, they will cause injury.
Yeah.
So they don't protect you from anything.
Now, granted, I know looking at me, you might think I'm a fat guy who doesn't run, but truth is, I do run.
Yeah.
And if you want a running tip, compression socks, and Asics gels. I love Asics gels.
Get a pair of New Balance.
New Balance are good too. I use both. I go back and forth, but I got to tell you, the Asics gels are just they're really good.
Well, another thing, really, other than that, is just those shoes they're great if you're just needing to be in the gym to do like squats or something. They're great for that because you want to be barefoot when you're squatting. But other than that, as far as the running claims and anything, nope, not true.
Well, and the whole claim was because they say, running barefoot is better than without shoes.
Because that's how we evolved and everything.
And to a point, that may or may not be true.
Well, that's also why we died often back then. Because, oh, no, I broke my everything on this leg.
I broke my everything. I like it. So... Oh, God.
So hopefully that clears a lot of stuff up for you. Hotel California, not about Satan.
Not about Satan.
McDonald's not getting beef from a company called 100% beef. Those weird feet shoes, which basically are the Crocs for runners, not better for you.
In fact, they're worse.
Boom. Suck on that. That's your Snopes for this week.
Bring it. Tech Bytes.
Tech Bytes. Speaking of beatboxing.
Dude, that was really lame.
It was terrible.
Coming soon, Beats by Tim Cook? What the hell?
I know.
Yeah. Beats by Dre is all but clinched, and I have to say that now. By the time you watch this, because this comes out it's Wednesday-ish.
Yeah, Wednesday-ish.
This may already be.
It's probably signed and done.
But essentially, Beats by Dre has been acquired or will be acquired.
They're in the process of being acquired by Apple.
Now, this is big for several different reasons. First of all, this will single-handedly be the largest acquisition Apple's ever done.
Ever. Which is huge.
It's very huge. And the fact that they're willing to pay $3.2 billion for Beats kind of pisses me off that they didn't pay $1.2 billion for Waze.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Tim Cook.
Business
Can't
decisions.
believe they let Google take Waze.
Hey, you know what? That's the big change that's coming to Google Maps, and you knew that Google was going to steal that.
Well, yeah. Anyway, so Beats by Apple. Here's a couple of things that it actually means bad, and here's a couple of things that it means good.
Why bad?
Bad because... Have you ever used Beats headphones?
Yeah, they're terrible.
They're terrible.
I'm not a fan.
I mean, if this were a sports show on ESPN, I might say they're terrible.
Just terrible.
They're just terrible. I am an audiophile. I have used the Beats by Dre headphones.
You have like 8 pairs of headphones on your couch downstairs.
I know.
Why do you have all these headphones? I like to listen to music.
Well, it depends what you're listening to.
And that's fine.
I'm just saying.
It all sounds the same to
now,
me.
and to some people it does. And I don't judge, by the way. I'm just saying that don't believe the hype. For $370, which is the average going rate for a pair of Beats headphones.
Yeah, and people are paying for it every day.
Right. You can buy a pair of, and when I say this word out loud, people are going to kill me, Sennheiser. Because a lot of people, they see Sennheiser and they only remember the $20 cheapo Sennheiser headphones.
But they actually make a very high-quality brand.
People don't realize that Sennheiser makes headphones well up into a pretty decent range. Now, I don't use Sennheiser for some of my more high-end headphones. And I hate to admit this in public, but the most expensive pair of headphones that I own is about $1,000.
What?
Yeah. So they're good headphones, and I have headphone preamps, and
I won't buy an Xbox One, but I'll buy a $1,000 headset.
well, I like music.
So all right, so I'm sorry.
Now that's the bad, and the reason I say it's the bad, although it could be good, because I think potentially there are some things that maybe they can fix the earpods, for example, because they're worse than Beats by Dre.
Well, I'll say this for their the tiny earbuds or whatever, their little runner earbuds, they're not bad.
They're not
but
great,
they do advertise multiple channel sound. It doesn't do that. It's all just one.
In fact, I can tell you for $50 if you buy them as a refurb, or for I think they're $89 for new ones. If you don't mind the cord, $149 if you do, you can get a Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Klipsch ones are probably the single best set of small headphones you're ever going to find. They fold up, they fit nicely.
Oh, those ones that you have in the
love
those. No, actually, listen to those. They were amazing.
For general use earphones, they're absolutely fantastic. And for an iPhone, they also have built-in.
Yep.
I can talk on them. So
mic built in. So
they're actually really good for that. They're not what I listen to for some of my hardcore listening, but they're actually really good for general stuff. Now the good, because there is good coming.
There's a bunch of good.
The music industry has been on Apple for about the last 5 years to push for a subscription service for their music. And that's kind of what iTunes Radio is. It's it's them testing the waters a little bit, but let's be honest, iTunes Radio is terrible.
It is kind of crap because no matter what station you create, you're going to get the
same
same
whatever the hell
15
they want to
songs.
give you.
It's the same 15 songs.
It's really bad. And the only reason I use iTunes Radio occasionally is because I do pay the $20 a year for the iCloud sync, and I get the iTunes
your libraries.
I get the ad-free experience for iTunes Radio. So, like for Christmas, I just popped the iTunes Radio because I have the Apple TV, and it worked real nice. And of course, before that, I would just Spotify with the Roku.
But now they're going to have a huge library opening up to them.
They already have the library. What they get, in fact, they have a way bigger library than Beats Audio.
Do they? Oh, so they're getting the in with the studios at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Apple's music library is unrivaled, period.
Well, that makes sense. I mean,
by
iTunes, I guess.
By anyone. But what Beats by Dre gives them is it gives them, without any risk, the ability to play with a subscription service.
Yeah, that's true. Without having any issues on their side, and they can figure it out with Beats and transfer it over to their service. Period.
So it'll be really interesting to see what that works. For me, it might be good because maybe it'll mean even my cheap Beats subscription will get even cheaper if they include that with like the iCloud stuff.
That's what I was gonna say. Or it might actually.
We'll see.
give you a discount because you've got both of those services at the same time.
So it'll be interesting. One of the speculations, I think it was over on Engadget earlier this week, said that they're buying them to go after Android users, and I don't know. I don't think that's
the case. That's probably not. But now I will say this though, Jay-Z was on the top of the Forbes list last year. Him and Puff Daddy were 1 and 2.
Right.
I think Puff Daddy's worth about $700 million. Right. Being a millionaire in the rap game these days,
it's a big deal.
Not super hard to do.
No,
but being a successful millionaire, pretty hard to do. You've got like people like Jay-Z, you've got Nelly, and you've got
here's the
Puff
thing,
Daddy.
right?
But
the thing about Dre, so Beats by Dre, for those you don't know, its annual sales are actually pretty good now. They're about $1.2 billion a year, which is, or I think somewhere in that area, which is interesting because that means that we're essentially buying. Well, not we. Apple's essentially buying Beats by Dre at 3 times revenue, which is a little unheard of. I'm surprised they're paying that much money for it. I'm not surprised they're offering to buy it. Just more than 2 times revenue even seems a bit kind of like there must be something else that we don't see about Beats that Apple just has decided to pounce on.
Well, the biggest thing in the celebrity news concerning this is Dr. Dre, now the first rapper billionaire ever of all time. Which he kind of
tweeted the other day.
There's a video of it completely. And ironically enough, Tyrese from the Fast and the Furious is in the video going, Forbes list, just flip the script, son. And I was like, Tyrese, you haven't been on the scene in years. Why are you here?
Why would you take somebody so irrelevant?
That's what I'm saying. And they partied into like
funny.
4 a.m.
I know, it was absolutely awesome. So that's Beats by Dre. It will most likely, by the time you see this video, be Beats by Apple.
It'll be Beats by Apple.
So
Beats by Apple. So,
because
it's
Jesus.
So what's next on the agenda?
Moving on up, we're going to talk a little FCC. We talked about this story.
We've been talking about this every episode.
Every episode.
Net neutrality.
Net neutrality. Of course, the guy from FCC was like, "So here's the rules, buddies," and it was like, "What?" So earlier this week, a lot of things have happened, and the first of which isn't even what the story's about, but I'm going to bring it up anyway, and that is pretty much every tech company on the planet said,
how about no?
No. This is a horrible idea.
We also posted on our Facebook page the link that you can go complain to the FCC.
If you'd like to complain to the FCC, you can totally do that. But one company took it a little farther.
They went way up. Gorgeous.
NeoCities, which is a web hosting company, and I really wish Google would kind of follow suit, has throttled all of the communication coming out of the FCC. Now, I wish they'd take it one step farther and do 2 things. 1, I'd love for Google to follow suit. But 2, I would like to see NeoCities do this for anything that resolves to .gov. So don't just
do it to
Don't just throttle the FCC. Throttle the White
entire
House,
government,
the Senate, the Congress. Right. They're throttling them to, get ready for this, 28.8. Now, for a lot of you kids out there
who have never lived offside of broadband,
right? I remember my first 28.8 modem. It was amazing. It was so fast. It was crazy.
Yeah, you could load a web page in like
2 minutes.
2 minutes. That was a big deal.
Yeah, that was a big deal. And that was 2 minutes for the web pages back in 1994,
which looked like. And if you actually,
no.
If you want to, no, you don't even have to do that. Go to Space Jam's website.
Oh, there you go.
It has been unchanged since the day it was released.
That's true. That's a good point. This is back when under construction GIFs ran rampant all over the internet.
Everywhere.
So
GeoCities, do you have a GeoCities site?
I totally,
if you don't have a GeoCity,
I had Angel Fire.
Angel Fire.
Yeah, so but yeah, this was 28.8, it's where they're throttled to, unless the FCC wants to pay for prioritization.
Yep. I mean, it's the Ferengi plan.
It's very clever. I mean, if you want to protest, that is the way.
That is the best way to do it. And they're basically saying, "Hey, this is what you're doing to users. Enjoy that."
So let's see what happens this week in FCC news.
Well, speaking of the FCC thing, you did hear about what Level 3 said, right?
No.
All right, so if you guys don't know, Level 3 is basically one of the big companies behind your ISP. Level 3 is the major, as far as I know, provider of all internet content.
They're one of three
major companies. Yeah. And I know for a fact that they handle most of the Southeast up into the Northeast.
Yeah, in fact, I work for AT&T, so we deal with Level 3.
The thing is, Level 3 goes out there, but the final connection from that box to your house is through your provider, Comcast, Verizon, AT&T.
Right.
He came out and straight admitted, hey, Comcast is throttling people. We're sending out speeds.
Oh, yes, I did hear this.
We're sending out speeds, and these people at their homes aren't getting that kind of a speed.
Yep, I did
and he goes, it's not, he was, no bandwidth problems for us.
Yeah,
we're sending out plenty of speed. People aren't getting it.
I did hear that.
And he said that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was a story time. I did hear that this week, and that was kind of a... It's interesting, right? Because this is this is after Verizon and Comcast have both cut their deals with Netflix, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And we've been
talking about this.
Saying how much BS it was, right? The day, he called me the day Comcast signed that
Flipped
deal.
The script with the signage, and my stuff was perfect. I was like, hey,
I got Super HD 7.1 audio. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah. Do you know what happened today? He's like, no, what happened? It's like, Netflix gave him a whole bunch of money. I'm like, oh, damn. So... It's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next little bit of time, because
we're going to be reporting about this every week, so make sure to tune into Tech Bytes, especially if you're interested in keeping
Netflix,
up to date.
Since we're in Technology Bytes, it's part of Netflix. They got a new logo.
They did get a new logo.
But if you ask them, they'll be like, huh? Yeah. No comment. This is the weirdest thing on the internet this week for me. And I have two stories about Netflix. That one and the fact that we already talked about, which I'm going to talk about. Their rates are going up, which we mentioned last week.
Well, everybody, that's.
If you didn't sign up between then and now, guess what?
SOL.
It's $8.99 for you.
Oh no!
But it'll be $8.99 for us in 2 years.
It will. We're only guaranteed. We're only grandfathered for 2 years.
Which is longer. Actually, longer than I expected.
I thought they were going to give me till the end of this fiscal year.
I expected till 2014 was over as well. I really did. So the fact that they're doing 2 years, and that's really it boils down. The CEO of Netflix said, "Look, we know how bad we fucked up the last rate hike.
Yeah.
And we're trying our best not to do that ever again.
Ever.
And I think they're doing that. I think it's, first of all, it's only $1, not $2.
That's the thing, is like, oh no, it's going to be $12 more a year for me.
Right. And for us, it's 24 months away before we have to worry about it.
Even if I worry about it, though, knowing that Netflix is putting out premiere content, and we haven't even seen the Marvel stuff they've got coming yet.
And Orange and New Black signed for season 3, and I'm like, I need season 2.
By the way, remember last week I said, oh, Laura Perpen's not going to be in season 2. Right. She's back for season 3.
I know. So I read that too, which is kind of cool. So it means she's going to be back in jail.
She is.
It's cool. I like it. But the Netflix new logo, which is the story I started this with.
And I haven't even seen it yet.
So if you've been watching any of and if you just go looking for new trailers for like Orange is the New Black Season 2, as a good example, you may notice their Netflix logo looks a little bit flat, a little different. It's not majorly different, but it is obviously changed.
Okay.
People have been reaching out to Netflix for the past week and a half asking them, hey, what's with the new logo? And they're like, we don't have a new logo.
Uh-oh.
It's like high school.
Well, that's a weird thing for you to deny.
Right. It's in your advertising media.
I'm not trying to say that I told you so, but in my thing, I think back to that whole where I'm talking about Netflix going to be a production company.
Maybe the Netflix production company logo is its own.
I think that's why they're denying that. Because they're putting out all this original content, so they may be splitting off half the business to just a production area.
Call it? Maybe it'll be Netflix Limited or something like Lucasfilm did.
Like, yep.
All right. It could be.
LTD.
You heard it here. So, you can't say. I have to say limited because every time I hear LTD, I think of a Ford POS.
Do you? I think actually of the THX. The audience is now deaf. Because it's just those letters, and I associate those two two things I associate with each other.
That's true. I know. I'm with you. So a little bit of Netflix going on, and one more is Time Warner and Comcast, and we got to talk about them again. I'm sorry. Well, mostly Time Warner, not Comcast.
Yeah.
So of course, right now there are hearings going on. As we speak, there have been hearings going on this week. They'll continue next week about this whole Comcast merger with Netflix with Comcast, and. Very simply, of course, no one wants it to happen.
No.
I mean, really.
The only people who want this to happen are Comcast and Time Warner. Because Time Warner doesn't want to go under, and Comcast wants to acquire half the freaking internet.
Here was the argument that the CEO, Mr. Robert Marcus of
Time Warner. Is he the CEO of Time Warner?
He's the CEO of Time Warner. In the Senate hearing, he was like, yeah, so I understand you guys are all like, look, we're going to be this monopoly and blah, 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 blah. But the truth is, the LTE on things like iPads and iPhones is totally a viable alternative to cable.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Because there's a limit. You're like, oh, you want 5 gigs? Here, pay $300 a month. That's nothing. 5 gigs in reality.
It's not even just that. And look, I have pretty epic LTE.
As do I.
I mean, seriously. And in fact, in a future episode, you're gonna see
we're actually
my LTE versus his versus
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile, because it's interesting, right? So from one of our other shows, Bookworm, Whitney has T-Mobile. You have Verizon, and I have AT&T. I am trying to get my hands on a Sprint one as well.
Okay.
I'm working on that yet, but we're going to do some comparisons on LTE speeds. And as good as they are, and I mean, I'm getting like 40, 50 meg downloads. They're amazing.
But you have limited... And
how many of you have streamed Netflix through your LTE connection? It works. It does. But it's
not in high def.
Right.
By any means. I accidentally realized that the other day when I was at the gym. I was watching Kill Bill, and I was like, man, this looks like crap. And I pull my Wi-Fi thing up, and it's like, oh, Wi-Fi's not on.
Yeah.
I click it on, boom, goes right back to HD. On top of that, there's a limited amount of it.
And
even though it's pushing that kind of data, it's not a continuous stream of that kind of data. And at home, I'm pushing 100.
Right, I'm pushing 120
and that's fiber continuous.
And I'm not competing with 30,000 other people in a cell tower.
Yeah.
This was the stupidest thing I've ever heard a CEO make an argument for no, we're not a monopoly, because look, you could totally use broadband on your cell phone.
I think that's great if he's talking about people who are just Facebook users and want to play Angry Birds or whatever. But for us, people who actually work with the internet and we work on the internet and we use the internet for actual other things.
It's an insult to the consumer.
It's disgusting.
In my opinion. So
he's basically saying you're all stupid.
Yeah, he is. He really is. So you should completely feel ashamed of yourself, man. It's just, I kind of blown away. Blown away. But with that, and I don't want to talk anymore about it because I'll just start getting pissed off.
We'll get pissed and then it'll go into a tangent.
But
so what's the
very last thing is... Whoop. I can't poke you anymore on Facebook.
I'm sick of it.
Who used poke? I'm just curious.
I used it subconsciously, right?
I never used it.
If I got an update that I got poked, I'd be like, boop, boop, boop. And that starts the poke war for 2 days, and then one person finally just is bored of it.
Stupid. Right.
And you're like, and it is. It's dumb. I get it back in the day. Back in the day before they had Facebook Messenger and they had all that stuff.
If you wanted to be like, get it then,
it's like punching a girl in the playground when you're in first grade.
That's now really you're right, because now we can.
But now I can just flirt with. I can just Snapchat you my dick, and we're having sex in 5 minutes.
You flirt with the Facebook Messenger stickers.
Yeah. Oh, see, and the stickers are cute. They're adorable.
That's the new poke, I guess, right? I do too. So, speaking of dick pics, did you see what I posted on Facebook recently?
I'm stealing.
Pic? No, yes, it was in a way. I'm stealing this idea. It was an article about trolling done right. And a girl had asked a guy for a dick pic, and he sent a picture of Andy Dick.
Well, see, no, whatever. No, I just
thought that was awesome.
Somebody asked me if I would ever send a dick pic.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'll totally send you one. I sent one of Richard Nixon, and I was like, my dick is huge.
Yeah, see,
so, I mean... the other one's the kid
and there was another one's the guy asked
will you send me a picture of you in a bra? Is that the one?
Yeah. And she laid a bra out and a picture of herself on the bra.
It was like her high school picture or whatever in the bra, and she took a picture. That was awesome.
Good job.
You guys are thinking out there.
So Poke is gone, but it's not the only thing that was gone. This was funny. So he knew Poke was gone.
Yeah, I mean...
He's reading my show notes. He's like, camera's gone. What the hell is camera?
I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah, well, that's why
I was like, what is Facebook camera?
That's why
because I thought originally, I was like, inside of Facebook, they have the post a photo. And I was like, oh, no, don't take that out because it's just quicker than me having to take a picture and then switch it.
That's not what's going.
There's a legit app for this.
There's an app. It's called Facebook Camera. I kid you not. So I'm going to fire it up. Right here it is. This is my Facebook Camera app. This is basically Instagram.
It's Instagram. It's what they spent $1 billion to purchase.
Well, no one was using this essentially, so they were like,
"No one knew about it."
Well, okay, I guess we'll just buy Instagram since no one gives a damn about Facebook Camera.
Yeah, what are they gonna do with paper next? Because no one's using that, as far as I know.
I used the crap out of that for 7 minutes.
I didn't. No, I got 5 minutes.
That's a lie.
I
was gonna say that's done. A lie. I didn't even.
I set all the favorites, went through the tutorial, looked at it. Decided it was terrible, like, closed it, and never opened it again.
That is me, because I'm like, why am I use Flipboard. This is crap. I use Flipboard. This is crap.
That.
Oh wait, and I send stuff to read it later. This is crap.
Why do I want to have random stories in my Facebook feed?
And that is exactly what they were doing.
They were.
I want one thing or I want another. And if I
want a reader, I'll get a reader.
And if I want random Facebook stories in my news, I'll use Flipboard because I can import my news feed into Flipboard. So,
and it's just don't.
But no more
Facebook. Stop coming out with apps. Just
no more
focus
camera,
on Facebook
and kill paper.
Kill paper. Seriously.
God,
burn it.
So I think that's all we have this week.
Hey, that's a pretty big tech bites this week.
It was a good week. So let's.
So I mean, pretty much Comcast still terrible people. Netflix going up by $1, possibly.
Time Warner's insulting your intelligence.
Time Warner hates you. Beats by Apple. Dre, biggest freaking. He's the first rapper billionaire. That's impressive.
He would have been anyway, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, dude's a freaking amazing businessman.
Just with the revenue.
He still would have been, yeah. So I think that's the wrap.
That's it, man. We want to leave you this time with just kind of a feeling, and I think we've done a good job at that.
What I want you guys to do is go to our Facebook page or
Facebook.com.
Go to YouTube, let our comments. Yeah, and leave us YouTube comments. Let us know how you feel about the FCC, the whole net neutrality situation, Absolutely. And how you feel about Comcast and Time Warner, because these are the important things that we're reporting on each week. Hell, how do you even feel about Netflix raising the price to $1?
Did you want to flip a table?
Were you like, oh, or were you like, oh, that's cool?
And I was kind of like, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I felt about it. So leave us those we'll
do more tech. We'll do more tech bites next week.
Next week. So the new segment that we've been doing for the last couple weeks is we've been doing the best of.
The best of.
Last week we did. The first week we did it was just me.
The
last
comics.
week we did it together, and we were going to do it together this week, but
and
somebody didn't have time to do their homework.
I did not do my homework. I did actually pull a couple apps, and novelty is maybe one a notability I think.
So what we wanted to do was a top 5 apps in the last 30 days. The whole idea of this was to get us to try new stuff, because I'm horrible about going to the app store.
And I tried new apps and found out they were 2 years old. I was like, well, crap.
And that's the downside. I had to actually go and look up the Guardian stuff. Yeah. The Guardian,
so
by
Apple,
the way,
I'm going to put a challenge out to you. You need a section in the App Store.
Last 30-day apps.
Right. You have one called the best new apps.
But the apps can be like a year old
that have just been updated. I don't want that.
Doesn't count as a new app.
Right. So I want to see a best of new apps or just a new app section.
Now, The Guardian helped me out with this, by the way. The Guardian.uk, I believe it is.
I love The Guardian.
As do I. And they have a guy who writes...
Guardian.co.uk.
There it is. And they have a guy who writes a weekly article. It's the top 20 apps of that week.
Right.
Which was awesome for me, because I was like, oh, cool. Let me go back and look at these things. Yeah. I found a couple, and I actually already had a couple.
All right.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and open my iPad here, my iPad Air. And I do a lot of mobile gaming, which is something I never thought I would ever be doing.
Yeah,
and
it's so fun.
The 3 games that I've actually played most predominantly on my my iPad are Trials Frontier, and I'll open that right here.
I saw that one in the App Store. Is it good?
It's absolutely fantastic. Right. It's by Ubisoft. And it's a great mobile game. It does have in-app purchases, but you don't have to buy them.
So I'm a sucker. Freemium.
No, it's not. And this is basically right here what it looks like. And you can go to your map area. There are tons of levels here. I have a bunch of stuff unlocked. This is actually the quests, the active quests that you have here. You can also update your bikes. You basically go in, start race. Costs 5 gas to start each race, 5 to 7. You pick your bike. I've got a couple different bikes available here. And you play. The biggest thing for me is that this has the best mobile controls I've seen in forever. Like, it's very for there being buttons on the screen. Yeah. It just works.
Nice. I like it.
My second app, and again, don't forget these are in no real order.
Right.
My second app would be. Everyone is playing this.
Hearthstone.
Everyone is playing this to the point where it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love CCGs, and I'm not really a Warcraft player anymore. I don't play the WoW much. But they suckered me in with Hearthstone.
Yeah.
If you haven't played this game and you like World of Warcraft or you like CCGs, you have to play it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm not even a CCG guy, and I actually do play
the biggest thing for me is they have the thing called the Arena. It gives you basically go in, you pay 150 coins, which you can get by doing daily tasks. I've got my daily tasks.
And they're pretty easy
right here.
To get
they're super easy to get coins. Costs 150 coins or $1.99. And you pick a random deck based on what it gives you, and a random character based on the 3 it presents you with.
Right.
And you go fight against people, and you can get rewards based on how many wins. You get the basically 3 losses, and you're kicked out of the arena. So get out of here, you. And the other one, I don't even want to say this.
Say it.
I am currently playing Family Guy: The Quest for Stuff, and this is my little cohog.
So here's why while he's doing that,
I'm
gonna show you why I don't play that game.
You're good, and this is the thing.
This is why I don't play.
Go ahead and pull it up and show them real quick.
So I have been playing this game now for quite some time. This is The Simpsons Tapped Out. I'm a huge fan.
He's a huge fan of that game.
I've been playing it pretty much since it started. Actually, I'm level 40.
I'm only level 8 on this thing, but I've
opened all the land you can have.
Oh, nice.
You can't buy any more land. I have all the goodies. But the reason I do not play his game isn't because it's not good.
It's because you're already playing one.
It's because it's basically the same game as this, although there are some things you can do that are different, that I actually like, by the way. in that game. Mine's still loading because this is so mature.
Yeah.
There's like a gig of data.
That's what I was going to say. There's a ton of stuff. I have a feeling that's how this will end up.
It will get there.
The biggest thing about this game, however, is you unlock areas and divisions
apparently
and sections.
Sideshow Bob is running rampant in my town right now.
Good.
He yelled at me. So
as you play through, you get characters, you get buildings.
Look at this. Look at this.
Good Lord.
Look at this. I am the man, dude.
You also have it looking very nice. Mine is a little dysfunctional, and I tried to make it look a little better last night, but it doesn't.
Strip mall here. Check this out.
That's nice.
I know.
So, but I hate to admit it, but Family Guy: The Quest for Stuff, even if you're not really into those kind of games, and I talked a lot of smack about
this is a cross between a farming game and a sim game.
It is.
It's basically
and it's really fun.
And this is now who makes that one? Because it's not EA, right?
No, it is not EA that makes that. I want to say it's Fox. It's actually legitimately Fox that makes that. Let me close the app and reopen it.
All right.
Because that's the only way for me to know. Tiny
Co.
And Fox.
All right. Well, yeah, because I mean, it's Fox obviously for.
We need to put our name on it.
But the Simpsons is done by EA, so it does often have the standard EA problems that you get.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's EA. No, there's no problems other than we had a server shut down for like an hour. I think they were doing maintenance on it and whatever. So the other two apps, these are actually usable apps. One of which is called Breeze. It uses all the data inside your little tiny iPhone here. And
accelerometer,
it tells you,
all that stuff.
A bunch of stuff.
Proximity
and it tells
sensor.
You, all sorts of crazy stuff. And it tells you how many steps you've taken on a daily basis.
Nice.
Now, mind you, I can shake my phone.
What kind of battery drain?
None. I see no battery drain at all by using this. It runs in the background.
Okay.
Or you can even not run it, and it will just pull the last 5 days of the accelerometer data. Yep.
Wow. I like that.
Which is pretty impressive. Yeah. And it shows you what your goal for the day is today. My goal is 2800.
So is this a free app or is this a...
Free.
All right.
Free.
Nice.
All of these are free apps.
Nice.
Well,
you should mention the Family Guy and even the Simpsons, which isn't new.
Purchases.
They do have in-app purchases. You do not need to use any of the in-app purchases to play the game. But I'm a sucker, and every time they put something on sale, I buy donuts.
But it also gives you a cool little spirit animal here, based on what your routine is. I am an unvarying lion. You enjoy slowly prowling the savannah under the midday sun. It's tough work, but someone has to do it. Which is it's silly, but it's neat at the same time.
That's very good. I like it.
And the last app that I have is actually called Sleep Time. And
I know this app.
It's brand new.
Yep.
And I got the free version. There's a pay version and a free version.
All right. So
the pay version
ad-based, is that what it is?
No, there's no ads whatsoever. The pay version lets you look at your sleep for more than 5 days.
Oh, okay.
It keeps all your history. This one doesn't.
Oh,
that's literally the only. And it does. I don't need to know anything more than last night. I'm not gonna. But the reason I got it, I was sitting here and I was like, man, I'd like to get one of those fitness things. I wanted a Fitbit. But unfortunately, there's no Fitbit Pros or whatever on the market right now because they did a recall from the band. It was causing wreck. But what you do is you set your alarm. And
also,
yes,
you're gonna want to buy an iWatch anyway.
Yeah, that's also really true. I know I'm gonna want one.
Well, you know
it's gonna do everything.
They've all but sucked up Nike's electronics team.
Did not know that. Did not know that. Yeah. So, the biggest thing for this, you set an alarm. You do not lock your phone or exit out of the app. You sit your phone down, face down like this, boop, on your bed. It will turn the screen off. And what it does is it tracks your motion throughout the
your
night.
Wiggles and
turns. And if I go over here to Sleep Lab,
that's interesting.
As you can see, this was last night.
There's another app, and I have to go look it up, that you just put the phone in your pocket when you sleep at night, and it does that.
That sounds weird. I don't
remember
want
which app that was.
But I didn't think this would work because I have a sleep foam, mattress.
And the girl jumps on it, and the wine glass doesn't move.
Exactly. And I was like, this will never work for me. As it turns out,
it does.
Works perfectly fine. And
so have you tried the wine glass thing?
I've not tried the wine glass thing. I'm not sure I'm gonna. But the biggest thing about it is when you set your alarm, it figures out a 30-minute period of time from where your alarm is to wake you up lightly, and you won't be groggy at all. That's my biggest problem in the morning is I'll wake up during REM sleep, and if you do that, you feel like crap. This so
you could just be like me.
Yeah, what's that?
I just wake up.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I do that, but I'm trying to prevent myself from doing it.
No, every day.
Well,
I'm the person people hate.
Well, it's not that I won't wake up. I will. If I want to, I will. But most of the time, I just want to sleep. So this is perfect.
I don't have an alarm, is my point.
Well, that's weird.
I just think about what time I need to wake up before the next day, and that's when I wake up.
Sometimes it works that way for me, and sometimes it doesn't.
I've gone to bed 2 a.m. drunk and still woken up at 6:40.
Yeesh. No,
it's a gift. It's also a curse.
But I also want to talk about the worst app that I found in trying stuff this week. It's an app that sounds cool, and as it turns out, is a horrendous piece of shit.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to just use foul language for foul language. It is literally the most incomprehensible thing I've ever seen in my life.
All right.
No instruction, no manual, no nothing. It's called Slingshot.
I've never heard of Slingshot.
Slingshot's brand new. It's supposed to allow you to share your device to other people's devices and people on computers. So, like, you would be able to see my screen while I'm doing stuff.
Oh, so, yeah.
Chat and do it. You can't do that with this.
All right, then.
You can share your screen to somebody who else has another iOS device.
Yeah.
Have to be on the same network with them. The person on the computer can't see it. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, if there is here's how you do it, you guys didn't include it, and it looks like garbage.
Because I use Air Server for that.
Yeah, and can you do that with PCs? Can I show somebody on a PC?
There's a PC.
Do you have to be on the same network?
Well, yes, you have to be on the same network.
Here's what I want.
Actually, no. The new version you don't.
That's what I was going to say. Here's what I want. I want an app that lets me see a user's phone.
Because I have to log into Air Server. I have an account with Air Server, basically, now. So you broadcast the service with that. Yeah.
That's what. Listen to me. If this app does this is what I want.
Sorry, I said Air Server.
I want somebody to be able to have an app on their phone. They launch it. I can go do a join meeting or whatever with them and see it on my computer so I can watch what they're screwing up. Because I have a lot of users I have to set up iPhone email with.
Basically, you want GoToMeeting for the iPhone.
That's what I want. Yeah. Or iPad.
Or handheld device.
Don't care. Yeah. That's what I want. Right. Does that do that?
It does do that.
Then that's awesome. Slingshot can suck it.
It doesn't do meeting. Like, there isn't meeting integrated kind of stuff. So what you want in that sense,
I don't care about the chat and stuff like that. I just want to see it, because if I want to be on the phone with them...
Yeah. I'll show it to you.
That's awesome.
It's not free, though.
So that's really all I have for the best of. That's my 5 best of this week.
I like it.
So... just to review that, it was Hearthstone, Trials Frontier.
Fun.
We had Family Guy: The Quest for Stuff, Breeze for the walking, and if you want to check your sleep, remember Sleep Time, and it is the free version, not the paid version, which is weird in the App Store.
How much
the paid version shows up
paid
first.
Version?
I think it's $1.99.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
If you do need to track more than 5 days, $2 is not that bad.
It's not bad, and it works really well. Yeah. So other than that, that's the best. That's the top 5. Hopefully we'll both be back with the top 5 next week.
And send us your request for what.
Yeah, what do you guys
like
want us to do? Best of stuff. Let us know. Post it on the Facebook. Post it on YouTube.
The Facebook? Did you just say Facebook?
Yep. We all know I talk like a 16-year-old girl. That's obvious. So
let us know. Cray cray.
That's Totes Magoats Adorbs. So let us know what you guys want to see, and we'll be back next week with another top 5 list.
It'll be fun.
So this week's game changer is all Beyonce up in this mofo. You know why?
Because we're going to put on a Halo.
Because it's gonna Halo. I don't even know how that song really goes beat-wise, and I can't sing anyways. But really, game changer is all about Halo this week.
The other reason I have to buy an Xbox One.
The other reason everybody has to buy an Xbox One.
Call of Duty was last week.
Halo is this week. So they put out a new update teaser trailer for the Xbox One, and at 51 seconds in the teaser video, someone pops up on the live feed, and it says, so-and-so has played Halo 5 Infinity Slayer on Haven.
Halo 5?
Exactly.
What the hell is Halo 5?
Halo 5 is the brand new, non-Bungie developed Halo that's supposed to be coming. They teased it at E3 like forever ago, and I'm dying for it. I'm a sucker for every single Halo, and I don't care how bad the franchise gets, I will still buy every one of those.
I love Halo.
Because it's Halo.
I love Halo.
Just because it's Halo.
Halo's almost enough reason for me to buy a Windows phone, because I could talk to Cortana.
Because you talk to Cortana. Now, with that said, this year is also the anniversary.
They're going to put Cortana on the damn Xbox.
What?
They need to put Cortana on the Xbox.
And I have a feeling when they do the phone and Windows 8 and Xbox total integration thing that they're not talking about right now, the Xbox Connect will be getting Cortana.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it probably will be awesome once they get it fixed. It'll basically be a Siri for your Connect, which will be awesome.
It will be.
Now, this year is the anniversary of Halo 2 coming up. It's a big anniversary for them. It came out in 2006, so that's an 8-year anniversary. Well, the news is all but confirmed, and you can claim that you heard it here first. I can almost guarantee you we're going to get Halo 2 anniversary on Xbox One this year. With that said, it was the best-selling Halo. It
was a good Halo.
What caused the franchise to go big. Yeah. It sold more hardware than any other game out there, as far as I'm concerned. It was the reason people bought an Xbox. It changed multiplayer gaming forever.
True.
It was the reason people got Xbox Live.
I like the co-op stuff, even.
That's also... It was one of the better campaigns. In my opinion, it was probably the best Halo game.
A lot of people do Halo and they just do the big 16-man deathmatch crap. And I like the co-op stuff.
I love all of it. And Halo 2, I think at one point I looked at how many hours I had on Halo 2, and it kind of disgusted me because I can guarantee you there were over 1,000 hours put into that game.
Yeah.
That was within a year.
Yep.
I mean, I would literally play for 4 to 5 hours a night. And that wasn't including when I wasn't taking my gamer tag with me and going to tournaments. Yep. So there's one last thing that I really want to talk about. I know it's kind of a short game changer this week, but that's life in the gaming world because we're hitting the slump of summer. So we're going to have not really a lot of games coming out until the end of summer.
Well, you know why the slump of summer?
Well, because the video games don't want to contend with summer movies.
Right. And they also don't want to contend with summer hardware.
That's also true as well, yeah.
Because there's a lot of other things. Like, for example, here's a rumor, not about games, but the Apple iPhone 6 that usually comes out in September, it's going to come out in August.
Yeah. And Apple's been doing this thing. It's August, September, August, October, etc. Yeah. We'll find out when WWDC comes around in June, right? Is that in June? Yeah. So I guarantee you they're going to announce that iPhone 6
And
in
you
June.
don't want to compete against that kind of stuff as a game console. Nope. Even though technically it's different things.
Doesn't matter. People will spend their money on the phone before they will on the Xbox.
And November is the big Xbox month anyway.
It is. November is huge for Xbox.
You're going to see an update for Xbox, and I think that's the month you're going to see Halo 2 Anniversary Edition and maybe Halo 5.
No, I don't think we're going to get Halo 5 this year. I think Halo 5 is going to come next year.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But with that said, and actually I could be completely wrong. They could launch it in November. If there's already out there being played, it could be a lot closer to going gold. And that's a phrase that we use in the industry. Going gold means that they finished a game.
It's released to manufacturer.
It's the last copy, and it's going to be released to be copied to send to distribution. So the one last game I want to talk about is called Sunset Overdrive. And this is a game by Insomniac Games, who has made a lot of amazing games in the past. But they've kind of hit a lot of a slump, too. The last thing that they've been known for was they were Sony exclusive for the Resistance games. And this game is nothing like that. Yeah. We saw a trailer for it at E3 this year. And it looks really good.
But it was all movie cinematic.
It was completely CG. It was a trailer. It wasn't gameplay. But
it did look good, though.
The gameplay looks a lot like the trailer.
It actually does.
Which is impressive to me.
Yeah. And how did you call it? You called it Tony Hawk?
It's Tony Hawk meets Dead Rising with a Looney Tunes feel. Yeah. And you literally are jumping, grinding, sliding, spinning.
Oh, yeah. It's Tony Hawk.
Across the whole...
It's Tony Hawk without a skateboard.
And they've said it looks really easy.
It looks fun.
And you're literally, there's one part where I think he's using an umbrella or some form of hook to be on a wire, and he's shooting a giant. Right. Now here's some of the weapons, because this is an Insomniac game, and they always make crazy weapons. Yeah. They have remote controlled helicopters with Uzis hanging off the bottom of them.
Because reasons.
They have a TN Teddy launcher, which is a big cannon launcher that launches a teddy bear strapped with a big thing of TNT.
I like it.
It's awesome. They have a saw blade shooter machine. It's basically just launches a whole bunch of crazy saw.
Of course, why not?
I mean, saw blades are awesome.
Yeah.
And that's just what they've shown us so far. There's a whole lot of characters they haven't introduced us to.
I want to see the squid gun.
The squid gun?
I want to see the squid gun.
All right. I think that'll happen. That's probably... Did they mention that in the trailer, right?
I just want to see a squid flying out of a gun.
Well, I mean, Saints Row. Saints Row is the kind of place for that, and I'm not a huge fan of the last Saints Row. But this game does look very Saints Row-y. It's got a lot of customization options, apparently. It
also, to me, looked a little Lollipop Chainsaw.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. But the biggest thing for me is there's a lot of stuff on screen happening at a time, and it's not dropping frame rate at all. I'm looking at 60 frames per second. Just gorgeous. So, like I said, the last week, we're just the tip of where the next consoles are going.
Absolutely.
And this game for me is a good proven ground for that.
Yeah, it'll be good.
That's all I really have for Game Changer this week. I know PS4 fanboys are like, man, you didn't talk about the PS4 and all the indie games. Well, nobody cares. So cry about it if you want. You can go ahead and post all your hate mail up on the Facebook and on the YouTube channel. But make sure to subscribe so you can see when I reply back, because you're a bunch of jerks.
It's time for some pop culture.
Pop, 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 boop.
Bam.
So, TV movie news.
TV movie news. Speaking of movie news, we don't have any this week.
Nope.
Because we want to talk about some TV.
Yeah.
How I Met Your Dad. No.
Unsure if want to watch.
So Meg Ryan was noted last week that she was tapped to be the voice of the mother. Like
Bob Saget.
Like Bob Saget was the voice of the father.
Ted. He was the voice of Ted. Which makes no sense, because Ted is a grown-ass man whose voice is never going to change.
or sound anything like Bob Saget.
Like Bob Saget.
And by the way, I love Bob Saget.
So do I.
So I'm just saying.
But anyways, Meg Ryan.
So Meg Ryan was tapped to be the voice of the mother, which I think is the only reason why the next piece of news even happened. Honestly, it's officially been picked up.
They finally confirmed that they are making How I Met Your Dad or How I Met Your Father or whatever they want to call it.
I think it's Dad. I think it's gonna be How I Met Your Dad. I
okay.
think. Yeah. I would call it Father, if anything,
because it syncs better.
It wasn't How I Met Your Mom.
Yeah, it wasn't. But I'm kind of okay with it.
I'm not okay at all. I'm not even okay a little bit. First of all, I'm going to have to rent the DVD of the season finale of How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the DVD because it's got the full film and the full read.
There's a bunch of stuff that was cut from the scenes that were cut that I want to watch, and the alternate ending. I want to see what.
Well, they didn't film them. They were only done during the table read.
No, the alternate ending, my understanding, was cut and filmed.
Okay, all right.
So I don't know what it was. It'll be interesting to see. And they cut the funeral scene. So there's a bunch of stuff I want to see. And the reason I want to see it is because for me, that last episode ruined that whole friggin' show.
I disagree. I think it was a great ending.
It was too obvious.
I mean, no offense.
In a bad way to me. But
that doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't. And I mean, that's because that show's like my best friend.
It was a great show. I loved How I Met Your Mother. I loved that show. I loved that show.
I did too. And that last episode really was my okay, I can let you go now moment.
Yeah. Well, and I don't want to see How I Met Your Dad because it's just going to be awful. It's going to be awful.
It might be bad, but my thing about it, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong. He's already tried to tell me I'm wrong. If it's the same writers, we already know it's the same directing team.
It is the same directing team.
It might not be that bad,
and it'll probably at the very least the same senior writers.
Give me more of the same because clearly it was working for me before. But where are you gonna get that kind of a cast?
Well, that and the fact that how are you going to be able to recreate? You cannot recreate
that chemistry. Yeah. That I do agree with. That's my only problem.
It's going to be bad. I don't want to talk anymore about it because we have a tangent we're about to go off on, and we're going to try our best not to flip this table in front of us that you can't see off screen because my emotions.
I'm trying to hold my stuff together right now.
Unless you've been living in a rock in a cave with your hands over your eyes and your fingers in your ears.
You found out yesterday that
Community has been canceled.
Why? My emotions. You're making me feel feelings. Ow. Ow.
We wanted 6 seasons in a movie.
Hashtag Darkest Timeline. Hashtag 6 seasons in a movie.
Yeah. There's no Community. It's not going to happen. And this is where we're going to start disagreeing a little bit.
It's not over.
I know. It's over.
It's not over.
It's over.
Listen, Internet. Dan Harmon was tapped by a bajillion people once that show was almost not renewed for season 5. The biggest thing is, those people are still coming to call. And you know what? I think Netflix might be one of those people who's coming to call. Which is weird, considering they have no rights to show the syndication, because guess who has all the syndication rights? Hulu!
Well, of course they do.
Hulu has a hard time developing original programming. However, Hulu has a very large budget for production.
Homeland?
Yeah.
Or not Homeland. Zombieland.
Zombieland.
Sorry, love Homeland. Sorry, Claire Danes. Great show.
I think Hulu is going to pick it up. If they don't, there's going to be a Kickstarter campaign. I
CBS
wish these
isn't going to let it go.
I wish these things would have been around when Firefly went down, or when
Firefly would have made
the Dresden Files.
Yeah.
And a lot of people hate the Dresden Files, but you're all wrong because that was a really good show.
You kind of are wrong. I agree with you there.
Great show.
Yeah. But Firefly would have made it would have made more than Veronica Mars did.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing. I think Community, because Reddit is all in a tizzy right now. Well, not just r/community.
Yeah. Right.
All of Reddit is in a tizzy about this.
r/any damn thing on Reddit is pissed off because Community is a great show. I don't understand. I still don't understand how so many people can love this show. And its ratings suffered.
Oh, the ratings were
awful. Abysmal, which is the reason why NBC canceled it in the first place.
But if you look at how many of their rewatches are on DVR, plus you looked at what they were on when they were on Netflix.
Now, to be fair, Nielsen did finally start counting DVR
rewatches, but they only count it when you watch it once. They don't count it when you watch it multiple times.
Right.
Which I think is BS.
No, I actually do agree with that. But that's a whole conversation for another day. The biggest problem is... I don't understand NBC, and I posted this on Facebook and on our
people freaked out.
I think people thought first of all I was joking, because why the hell would they do that? And there's 2 shows that were canceled.
I don't know anything about the other one.
Is Revolution, which I'm a huge fan of Revolution. I love that show. I know it's had horrible ratings.
It is bad.
I've been waiting for it to die.
Yeah.
And I assumed...
Well, what season was Revolution on?
This is season 2.
2? Yeah.
And really? Granted, I love it, but I was kind of waiting for it to die.
NBC has this weird policy, which is where if your show isn't amazing by the end of the second season, they just don't care about you anymore. They don't want to spend. They're like, no, let's just develop a new project that's also going to fail instead of actually trying to.
Look, next year to take the gaps of those 2 shows, I think we're going to see Celebrity Cat Swap and The Real Housewives of Who Gives a Damn.
It's gonna happen, and it's disgusting. And NBC needs to get shit on lockdown. Where's my next Heroes season at? Oh yeah, because that turned out super well. Oh, let's make a miniseries out of that and bring some of the original cast back.
Heroes.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk.
Oh, I'm talking about it.
You're making me hurt now. I mean, you're really actually making me hurt a little bit.
30 Rock went all to hell, and I get it that they're trying to give freaking Troy, Childish Gambino, Donald Glover his own show and everything, but we still got a time to wait in here.
Bad
what?
At the end. 30 Rock got bad at the end. I'm sorry.
I didn't hate it at the end, but NBC lost their shit. As far as comedy goes, NBC has the.
Send all your hate mail.
Not to steal lines or anything. This is the pulse. These are your fingers, far away from the pulse, jammed up your ass. That's how NBC is about comedy.
Yeah, I know. It's weird because sometimes they'll do it and not realize it.
Yep.
I mean, if you look at Seinfeld, Seinfeld's a good example, and that was all Larry. That was all Larry David.
Yep, who went on to do the most awkward HBO show of ever.
It's still awesome though.
It's still funny.
I love Larry David. But, I mean, Seinfeld was one of those shows that was very unexpected, and...
It was a show about nothing.
And it really was.
And it hit huge.
It hit huge, and it only hit huge because it was good, and if it hadn't hit huge, it would have died.
Well, they also had Friends. Like, that's the thing, is NBC, when they came off of Friends and Seinfeld and Frasier and all that stuff... They didn't know what the hell to do. They didn't know what to do, because they were the biggest... They thought they were invincible. They could, we'll put anything on, and people will love it.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. So... what ends up happening is the most least likely station, CBS,
is kicking your ass.
And I mean hardcore. ABC still blows ass.
Yeah,
but I mean,
thanks Disney. Jerks.
Seriously, now I like the Once Upon a Time series. I'm actually a fan of that one. So, but beyond that, I don't think there's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s good, but that's because Disney owns Marvel now.
Right.
So. And then because I watch Grimm on the internet, that's an NBC
show.
That's like the only thing you guys have going for you right now.
There are some NBC shows that I watch other than Grimm.
Like what?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, you're like, God.
Well, let's see. Oh, wait. It just got canceled. Never mind. Well, Parks and Recreation.
I love Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec, that's fine.
That's NBC.
Yeah, but I really think Parks and Rec is headed towards the end.
It's got one more season, I think, and I think that's it. And if they do it right, it'll end nicely on top-ish, right? But they could ruin it.
Well, CBS has been beating the crap out of you, even though two and a half men is still going right.
God,
even though it's terrible, it's still getting better ratings than any comedy show on NBC.
I mean, CBS, you got The Big Bang Theory,
which is the blackface of nerd comedy, as far as I'm concerned. After season 3, you're dead to me.
Really? I love that show.
You're dead to me. No, it's pandering, and I don't want any of it.
I like it. I'm
still nothing to do with that.
Still a fan. Absolutely. You're wrong. You're actually wrong.
Nah.
But CBS also has the NCIS show, which I'm still a fan of. I mean, it's been on 9 or 10 years.
I hate to say it, but NCIS is a freaking awesome show.
I love Mark Harmon.
I'm just kind of done with...
And I even like the Los Angeles one with Robin. Sorry, what's his name? The guy who played Robin in Batman and Robin?
Oh, Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell. And LL Cool J.
Yeah, well, I just like LL Cool J in most things.
Was it Danielle Rush? Is her name?
I have no clue. I'm so bad at female actress names. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. But, I actually like that one. It doesn't get as good ratings, but it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And Hetty Lang. I don't remember the actress's name, but...
the goth chick?
No.
That's from...
She's a little short lady that was in Kindergarten Cop. She was the principal. She was the...
Oh, okay. Yeah. All you had to say was Kindergarten Cop principal.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, love her. Absolutely love her. And there are some other shows on CBS that are good. I mean, it's like Hawaii Five-0 reboot. I actually like. I know a lot of people don't. I like the reboot. And Chi McBride was a really good addition to that show. I know. So he's like, and that's
gun in my mouth.
That's the visceral reaction I often get when I talk about
I can't wait to
show.
taste a bullet later instead of watching Hawaii Five-0's reboot.
I know. But hey, it gets more ratings than Fox Business.
Yeah, that's true. But it's not. It's got enough.
I got one more piece of pop culture I want to talk about. Actually, that wasn't in the show notes. I want to talk about John Oliver. Now, if you guys don't know who John Oliver is...
he's got his new show.
If you guys don't know who John Oliver is, he's a British comedian.
And you've never seen The Daily Show in the last 5 years.
And you've never seen The Daily Show in the last 5 years. You haven't seen his bit spots on Community several times. He's always funny when he's on Community. He is the best antagonist for Joel McHale ever, I think, on that show. John Oliver is truly a very funny man. He is, and people are going to kill me for this. He's funnier than Stephen Colbert. I'm sorry.
No, of course he's funnier than Stephen. It's a different kind of funny. It is a different funny.
He has a new show Sunday nights on HBO.
Do we do the news?
Right, we did the news. So it's like, what is it? News last week's. Oh crap! Last news tonight.
And they cover the last week of news.
Basically, up until that, and the commercials are funny.
The commercials are
They're absolutely hilarious. I thought, well, this is going to be good. I had high hopes for it, and the man has honestly lived up to every one of my expectations, plus some. If you have HBO, you need to go watch this show. If you don't have HBO, and I'm not getting paid, this is not an ad.
No, we don't. HBO. Yeah, we don't have anything like that because
you need to go sign up for HBO. I mean,
just for this and Game of Thrones.
I was going to say, forget Game of Thrones. If you don't want to watch Game of Thrones because that's not your thing.
Game of Thrones is everybody's thing.
Winter's coming. Actually, winter's freaking right here. Look, HBO, honestly, except for now, Netflix is starting to really do well.
Yeah.
There's not one network. And look, I like some of Star's original programming, although they did kind of ruin Torchwood. I like...
we don't talk about that.
Miracle Day. I like... even Showtime.
Showtime's got some okay stuff.
And Stars both have original, but HBO has just consistently, even though True Blood did blow the last season.
And it's over this season.
Which is good. And they're, by the way...
About time.
For those True Blood fans out there, you may or may not know this, they are taking True Blood back to basically season 1 style of writing to finish the show.
Oh, cool.
To finish the show. It's going to be it's not going to be all stupid like it was.
Well, I got one bad thing to say about HBO.
Oh.
So this is how you know it's not a commercial for HBO.
Okay.
We're not getting sponsored by HBO. Silicon Valley is the worst show I've ever seen ever.
I actually like it.
Really?
We talked about
Judge
I had not seen it. I had not seen it yet, and I kept forgetting to watch it. So
all the commercials looked like it was going to be hilarious, and I watched it, and it was super awkward.
I cranked up the DVR, watched all 5 episodes.
I watched 2, and I just couldn't watch. I can't watch anymore. Should I give it more? Should I try?
I don't know. So here's the thing, right? And I'm gonna say it like this: take shows and things. I don't like Tracy Morgan. You like Tracy Morgan.
But I like all the people who were in this show.
No, my point is sometimes people like things and I mean you and I have similar tastes in shows, but there are times
when we fucking disagree. We heavily disagree.
There's a dividing line. This could be one of those shows. So I'm gonna say this about the show. Here's why I liked it, or like it currently. Actually, it reminds me heavily of every startup I've ever been involved with in my life.
The story is very slow. The pacing is bad. The jokes aren't that great.
The jokes are
super awkward and dry.
No, it is awkward and dry.
But that's Mike Judge, and I expected that going in. But I didn't expect it to be this awkward and dry.
It is awkward and dry. The mural, however, which you've not seen, you need to watch that episode. All right,
I will go watch the rest of the episodes before I make a full call on it. But right now, HBO, suck it and get that off the air. Put Community on. HBO.
Ooh! Oh, God, they would...
Steal Community!
They would kill Community. Even though I'd rather see Netflix do it, if I'm being honest, because I think Netflix would take Community a better direction, I would not.
Totally be down with HBO.
Because, I mean, Entourage.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Hey, I liked Entourage.
I did, too.
That's my huge fan. That's my point. Where's my damn Entourage movie, HBO? I know you filming it. I know you are.
And what is Jeremy Piven doing? Waiting for you to do that, I think, right? Because...
Well, they're filming it.
Right,
so...
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed the start of that. I'm sorry. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know they were
I'm just freaking waiting on it.
So, yeah. But
so I think that's it for...
Go get HBO. Yeah. Watch some good shows. They do 3 months at a time or something. But
I think that's
what my brother-in-law does. Every time he gets it free. Cause,
he'll
record the crap out of, everything. Yeah.
Nice.
So...
Well, I mean, that's all I've got for pop culture.
That's pretty much it for me.
That's the whole show, I think, this week.
I think it's been a good week.
It's been a good week. We got a little news on you.
We're probably going to talk about Netflix again.
Yeah, we're probably going to talk about the FCC.
We'll probably talk about the FCC
Comcast.
And Time Warner.
I mean, God knows most likely have more Halo news for you even then. So
it'll be a good week, so stick around.
Let us know. Facebook, YouTube. I mean, what's the whole thing? It's
Facebook.com/ThatStupidPodcast, YouTube.com/
That Stupid Podcast. It's pretty easy, people. It's just the name of the show.
Or ThatStupidPodcast.com.
Click the subscribe link down at the bottom. Leave us comments. Even if you hate me, even if you're like, that guy's stupid face and I can't stand it.
Shoot us an email. show@thatstupidpodcast.com. Send us a video question if you want to be featured on the show. Say, hey, let us know what you want to see.
480-STUPID-9, right?
It
Give
is
us
a
call.
phone number,
480-STUPID-9.
We would love to hear from you.
Hit us up. Let us know. We talk to users, and listeners. We talk to listeners pretty much day-to-day basis on this.
We try, absolutely.
So get with us. We'll promise we get back to you. Click subscribe, click like on the Facebook, tell all your friends. Share one of our videos.
Share the crap out of our stuff, people.
Seriously. If you like an episode, share it. Just click share. Just put it out there. Don't really care if you write something. Just be like, oh, it's pretty funny at this place, and this guy does this thing, and he's super sexy, and I just want to kiss on his face. I'm pretty sure that's like what most of the lady listeners think about me, but whatever. That's cool.
You just alienated 2/3 of the audience.
That's cool. Whatever.
But do share it out, because at the end of the day, we want to get our show out there. We want to be able to bring you more shows.
Yeah.
Not just more That Stupid Podcast,
but more actual
more
shows.
Bookworm, more science, more Absolute Zero, more Game On, more Video Games. It's coming. It's coming.
And don't forget, Dragon Con, Labor Day weekend, we'll be there doing a show live and running around like crazy people.
We have to get Patrick Stewart, dude.
I know. I gotta get with Dan. Or I'm not gonna name drop or anything, but I gotta get with the whole because you gotta get the interviews in early. So, but yeah, we're gonna try and interview Patrick Stewart. So that'll be cool.
Let's keep our.
Other than that, I think that's all.
And I will
think
work
that's all
to keep
I got.
my fangirl in check.
Yeah, I would appreciate that.
Ermagerd, it's Jean-Luc Picard.
Can I just? The only thing I would have to make sure to not ask him is, can I touch your head? That's all I want. I just want to rub it. I think that I would gain the best luck of ever just to rub Picard's head. Yeah.
The only thing that would make an interview better is if a certain Sir Ian were also to stop by.
Yeah, that would be pretty tight.
Can you imagine?
I'm not gonna let it, if I don't have words for Gandalf.
I couldn't contain a fangirl.
I'm not even a Lord of the Rings fan, but God, that man is awesome.
He is awesome.
All right, well, you shall not pass without clicking like and subscribe on our Facebook and YouTubes. Leave us a comment, leave us a mail, leave us some something.
And we'll see you next week.
Yep, we're out of here. Peace. Bust out some tech bites.
Busting out some tech bites.
Tech bites, motherfucker.
Yeah. All right.
So what is Facebook camera?
I knew you were gonna say that.
I know what Poke is. I didn't know there was a Facebook camera.
I had the app.
Is that a fucking? So when's paper going away? Because you haven't heard shit about that.
We're gonna talk about that too.
Does anybody? I really legitimately.
This is Facebook camera right here. So what it is, it's your timeline of just photos.
Holy shit! This is Instagram for Facebook.
Yes, that is exactly what it is.
Okay, we gotta.
Which is why it's gone.
Because
That's why it's gone too. They're
okay.
like, well, this is shit. Let's just go buy Instagram for $1 billion.
They just bought Instagram.